Fictional global shock. Jamie Dornan is officially married. The identity of the bride has stunned the world. Note: the following story is entirely fictional. It is a creative play written in the style of a Hollywood narrative and is not based on real events. The day the world stopped. It was a crisp spring morning in London when the first headline appeared on social media. Jamie Dornan, secretly married? Exclusive photos from a secret ceremony. At first, fans thought it was a hoax. The 50 Shades of Grey star, known for his privacy and fierce devotion to his family, had not been seen in public for weeks. But within minutes, global entertainment channels began posting images that would make history. Jamie, dressed in a tailored ivory suit, standing on the edge of a windswept Irish cliff, exchanging vows with a woman no one recognized. The bride's face was half hidden by a lace veil. Her slender but strong hand held Jamie's. The Atlantic roared below, the sky glowing golden as the ceremony unfolded in silence. It was strange, one guest later said. It felt more like a secret ceremony than a wedding, something very private, something he'd been waiting his whole life to do. Secret wedding. According to insiders, the event took place in County Down, Northern Ireland, where Jamie grew up. Invitations were handwritten and sent to only about a dozen people. Phones were banned. Guests were asked to surrender cameras at the gate. The location: a century-old seaside estate, Dornan Hall, a property long rumored to have been quietly acquired by the actor 2 years earlier. As dawn broke, a group of close friends arrived in vintage cars. Among them, a famous musician, an anonymous priest, and a violinist. There were no Hollywood lights, no paparazzi, no flashy film crew, just wind, fog, and love. He looked so peaceful, a friend revealed. It was the first time I'd seen him smile like that in years. No stage, no cameras, no burden on his shoulders, just a man in love. The biggest mystery, however, wasn't the location or the secrecy. It was the bride herself. Who is the bride? The woman the world can't name. When the photos were released, fans had a lot of theories. Some claimed she was an actress. Others claimed she was an artist or even Jamie's old co-star from his early modeling days. But the truth, it turns out, was much more surprising. The woman was Alara Quinn, London-based writer and humanitarian known for her discreet work with refugee families in Syria and Lebanon. She had no Hollywood connections, no social media presence, and no public appearances. She's the type of person who stays out of the spotlight, a source close to the couple said. That's exactly why Jamie fell for her. According to insiders, the two met quietly in 2022 at a charity fundraiser in Paris. She was unimpressed by his celebrity. In fact, she didn't even recognize him at first. An initial conversation about children's literacy quickly turned into hours of laughing, drinking coffee, and walking through the city's rain-slicked streets. Unexpected love. For nearly a year, Jamie and Alara kept their relationship a secret, a near impossible feat in Hollywood. He quietly visited her in London between shoots, often using charity trips to hide their encounters. He was like a ghost, joked one crew member. He would disappear for weekends, then come back beaming like a young girl in love. Their relationship quietly deepened. Friends say Alara soothed him, that she saw the person behind the fame, not the celebrity. Jamie told me she made him feel like a human being, said another. After years of intense roles, he finally found peace in simple things: cooking, going for walks, reading poetry by the fire. In private, Alara was known for her intelligence, stubborn kindness, and refusal to succumb to the limelight. She once told a friend, "Fame fades, kindness doesn't." And somehow, that was all Jamie needed to hear. The decision that changed everything. In early 2025, after completing a grueling film shoot in Australia, Jamie reportedly took a month off, a complete break from public life. Friends thought he was on vacation, but in reality, he was planning something big. He flew to Ireland, renovated the old mansion his father had mentioned, and got married in complete secrecy. He designed the ring himself, a simple gold band with a single inscription: "True love needs no witness." When he proposed, at dawn, barefoot, on the beach where he had shot one of his early short films, Alara said yes without hesitation. The vows heard around the world. Although the ceremony was private, a guest later shared a line from Jamie's vows that quickly went viral. "I've spent my whole life pretending to love on screen. Today, I promise to do it for real, no script, no editing, no fear." The words went viral on social media, portraying Jamie not as the melancholy movie star his fans once knew, but as a man slowly shedding his old self. "He cried," the guest added. "And when he said her name, you could feel the whole room shake. It was like watching a soul exhale." While the violinist played a lilting Irish tune, the two exchanged rings and sealed their vows with a kiss longer than any he'd ever filmed. The world reacts. 48 hours after the news broke, the world erupted in shock and amazement. Fans across the globe flooded social media with messages of shock and disbelief. Jamie Dornan, married? To whom? One user tweeted. "The most private man in Hollywood just pulled off the biggest surprise of the decade." Another wrote. In Brazil, billboards lit up with the words "Congratulations, Jamie." In Vietnam, fan groups live-streamed video detailing the wedding ring. In France, one newspaper simply headlined, "The salt and pepper gentleman has found the light of his life." Even other celebrities got in on the festivities. Actors who have worked with Jamie over the years posted subtle congratulations. "Proud of you, my friend, and at peace at last." Amelia's silence. Of course, not everyone was celebrating. Jamie's previous relationship with Amelia Warner, his longtime wife and mother of his children, immediately became the focus of speculation. According to previous reports, the two had quietly split months ago, keeping the agreement secret to protect their family. However, Amelia's silence following the news said it all. "She is focusing on her children," a family friend said. "There is no animosity, just sadness, and perhaps a little nostalgia." In a rare statement, Amelia's representative later added, "Amelia wishes Jamie all the happiness in the future. They will always be united as parents and friends." The mature tone of the message melted hearts around the world. It was the kind of grace Hollywood rarely sees, a bittersweet ending. Inside the mansion. A week later, exclusive drone footage revealed glimpses of the newlyweds' home, a sprawling coastal estate rumored to be worth more than $8 million. Built from old stone and glass, the house overlooks the rocks of County Down, where waves constantly crash against the shore. Sources describe the interior as a mix of vintage charm and modern minimalism, a reclaimed oak fireplace, bookshelves filled with Irish antiques, and a piano that once belonged to Amelia, which Jamie says he kept, as a memento. "It's not a mansion," one guest said. "It's a hideaway." The couple's first night was reportedly lit solely by candlelight and music. No pressure, no chaperones, just peace. A new beginning. As the global frenzy began to subside, Jamie and Alara were spotted in Italy, walking hand in hand through the cobblestone alleys of Florence, smiling freely. The famously reserved exterior was gone. He looked softer, freer, a man finally comfortable with himself. "He's stopped chasing fame," says an executive close to him. "Now, he just wants to tell meaningful stories." The couple are reportedly planning to set up a charity focused on education and art therapy for children affected by war, a project inspired by Alara's humanitarian work. "Love only truly exists when it helps others," she shares in a rare interview. Global legacy. In just a few days, the story of Jamie's secret wedding has become a global symbol of authenticity in the age of performance. Fans have created digital art, songs, and even a short film inspired by their story. "It feels like the end of a fairy tale we didn't know we were a part of," one fan wrote. But perhaps the most touching response came from Jamie himself. In a handwritten note shared on his social media pages, he wrote, "For years, I lived between the light and the dark, the roles, the noise, the masks. Then I met someone who made me want to live in silence again. If you ever doubted that true love still exists, I promise you, it does." The man behind the legend. As Hollywood struggles to come to terms with the shock, one thing remains clear. Jamie Dornan, the world's most enigmatic leading man, has rewritten his own story, not through a movie, but by living his life on his own terms. He's finally free, a close friend says. Free from scripts, free from expectations, free to be himself. Whether fans believe in legend or love, one thing is undeniable. The world will never forget the day Jamie Dornan surprised everyone, not with scandal, but with sincerity. And as the waves lapped the shore outside his Irish villa, somewhere in the golden twilight of a quiet evening, a man once bound by fame held his wife's hand and whispered the words that would end one life and begin another. "This time, I'm home."